Thank you so much for joining us for your pre-departure session. So as with our normal practice here at Academy X, we usually start meetings and sessions like these with a karakia. So a karakia is essentially a blessing that we say in Te Ao Māori. And this is a karakia that I believe has been gifted to us. And so it's something that we hold quite close to our hearts. And this is something that you will be quite familiar with as you kind of experience how we do things at Academy X. You can see the translation of the karakia on the right-hand side, but let me open this space with an opening karakia. Ko te kawa o runga, ko te kawa o raro, ko te kawa ora, ko te kawa ora. E rongo whakairihia ki runga, turuturu o whiti, whakamaua, kia tina, huye, ai kie. And usually everybody joins in at the end in the tai kie bit. So you can practice that when we close the space with another karakia as well. So essentially, this is a chance for us to say hello. So yeah, that you know what each of our functions are. Not everyone who you can see the pictures of are actually on this call, but who is will unmute themselves and introduce what they do here at Academy X and how they're here to support you. So I will hand over to Laurent first.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes. All right. So welcome everyone. Hi, Remai. Nice to meet you. Hopefully to see you very soon, face to face. My name is Laurent Tenchak. I'm the program lead for MTF, Master of Technological Futures. And maybe what you need to know about me. I've got a PhD specialized in organizational management and mobile technology. And I will be here to support your journey within the MTF and beyond, if possible. And welcome to Academy X.
Fantastic. Thanks, Laurent. Hansi will be joining us a little later on. Yuka Gray you'll meet next week, but I believe we have Sarah on the call.
Kia ora, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Awesome. So yeah, my name is Sarah and my role is program operations. So yeah, what I usually do is just to make sure that your speakers turn up on time and that you have all the resources and materials that you need that are on the LMS. You'll often find me in sessions online or face-to-face. Unfortunately, I won't be with you on day 1 and day 2. That's because I will be getting married, so my last name will change. So please don't get confused if you see that my name looks different. But yeah, so I mainly help with MTF. So if you're doing that program, you'll see me more often. Otherwise, later on down the track, you might see me helping out with MCOR as well. So yeah, that's a little bit from me. I was born in Zambia and now I live in New Zealand. Thanks, Maheshi.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sarah. So like Sarah, Emma Burton, who's also in program operations, does basically the same thing, but she is more focused on the MCOR program. And then similarly, Yuka Gray, who's our senior program manager, she'll be your best point of contact for any assessment-related queries as well. But together, we function as a program team. And so, you know, we work quite closely with each other, and then any student support things are discussed amongst ourselves, and then we also support our students as a team as well. And I, as the learning and engagement manager, I support both programs. So I work across MTF and MCOR, really looking at, you know, how our learners are engaged and how the learners are tracking in their studies, and then creating opportunities to create better engagement opportunities, and then, you know, supplement the program in a meaningful way that enriches the learning experience. So I work quite closely with the 2 program leads as well as the program operations team. And I was born in Sri Lanka. I will hand over to Taylor.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Hopefully we can hear me. Ko Taylor Tuku Ingoa. I'm the Poawhina Student Support Manager. and I work with all these lovely people on the screen. I do a lot with the international students just to make sure that you guys feel comfortable once you come to New Zealand. If there's any questions you have where you're not sure where to find the answer or who to ask, you can come to me because I do a lot with pastoral care, but I'm also just your point of familiarity, I guess. Just another friend in this space, but as are everybody else on the screen too. We are here to support you as best as we can with the knowledge that you give us. So yeah, feel free to bring any issues you have to us and we can help you figure it out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Taylor. And we truly do mean that. Any issues is not, there's nothing that we can't tackle together. And I will hand over to Asta.
Thank you, Maheshi. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Asta, and I think I've met a lot of you. I can see we have people from Singapore, Hungary, Philippines, Sri Lanka. So good morning, good afternoon. And if I'm missing any time zone, sorry about that. But it's so lovely to see you all. I've been your first point of contact, many of you. I've been your first point of contact. When you arrive on campus, you'll definitely see me around. And if you need any support, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Asta. And our head of growth, who you may have interacted with as well, Lauren, she's currently traveling from the Philippines and is en route to New Zealand today. So she's unable to make this call. So essentially, this session is an opportunity to get to know each other, understanding what you need to do in preparation for your pre-departure, what student support at Academy EX looks like, what settling into life in New Zealand looks like, and it's also your opportunity to ask any questions and get the answers that you need in this session. This session will be recorded, so I will be sharing the recording within 24 hours so that for anyone who's missed the session or you would like to revisit some of the content, you are able to do so as well. At any time, please let us know by email or you've got our phone numbers as well. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them as we go along. So I wanted to check in with you and see how you're currently feeling about the month ahead. So as a way of practice, I will pick on you depending on the list that I have in front of me. And if you can unmute yourself, put your video on if you are able to, just let us know your name, where you're from, and how you're feeling about the month ahead. So let me see who I can see first. I can see Gayatri.
Yeah, very good morning and good afternoon to all of you. I'm Gayatri Malavasekar from Sri Lanka, and I plan to study my Master in Change and Organization Resilience at Academy EX. So it's very nice to see all, and I feel very grateful and I'm prepared and somewhat excited and hoping to visit New Zealand very soon. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gayatri. And thanks for letting us know which program that you're planning on studying as well. That'll be really useful for your future colleagues on the call. And I have Armand. Next.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. My name is Armand. Actually originally from the Philippines, but been living in Singapore for about 15 years. Right now, I'm actually moved to NZ already, so I'm here. So I just joined the pre-departure just so that at least I could meet everybody and hear, the important details that I need to know. Nervous, as you can hear, but I'm very excited, to join you guys and see you guys all in person.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Armand, and I hope you had a good flight over.
Yes, it was a long flight, but all good.
Yeah. Nice. And Petra.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Petra, and I'm from Hungary. I'm very excited and also grateful that I already arrived in New Zealand. So these are my first day getting used to the jet lag and the new environment. I'm a bit nervous and anxious about how the studies will go, but I'm very happy to be here and to meet you all. I'm looking forward to see you in person as well soon.
Fantastic. Welcome, Petra. I've got Harindra.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Harindra Mahavatta. I'm from Colombo, Sri Lanka. And I'm excited to be joining Academy X to pursue this master program. I have a strong background in finance sector. I'm working as a finance manager last 17 years. I'm truly looking forward and learning with you building meaningful connection our time together. Cheers.
Nice. Thanks, Harindra. And Ruin next.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, ma'am, and everyone. Good day. My name is Ruvin Piris from Sri Lanka. So I am expecting to follow the Master of Technological Futures in Academy X. I'm excited to get the enrollment from your good institution and happy to see you as soon as possible in New Zealand. I have a small query not a small query. Problem is that still I haven't got my visa, so I'm expecting the visa maybe next 1 or 2 within next week. So thank you very much for enrolling me for the Academy X. So hope to see you as soon as possible.
Thanks, Ruin. We've got our fingers crossed as well. Pushpani.
Hi everyone. Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Aishi? Yeah, okay. I'm from Colombo, Sri Lanka, a professional banker. Currently, yes, as many, I'm also in kind of mixed feelings, excited, nervous, and leaving my family back here. So I hope once I come there, once settle down and meeting these friends around and with the academic staff, I will get used to the environment and New Zealand to become my second home like. So we'll see how it goes. And thank you very much for all the supports. And thank you, friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pushpani. You'll definitely have a really good circle of support here when you arrive.
Yeah, thanks.
I've got Ivy next.
Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Ivy Nasol from the Philippines. Currently, I'm feeling excited, looking forward to learning from the institution and meeting everyone, and quite nervous about the adjustments when we get there. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the institution for this opportunity.
Nice. Thanks, Ivy. I've got Malky.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Malki Patirana from Colombo, Sri Lanka, and I'm enrolled with Master of Technological Futures and currently working as a data analyst. So, fun fact, I just got the visa today. So, feeling excited. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Great news, Malky. Krishani.
Hello. Did you say Teshani or Krishani?
Oh, I said Krishani.
It's Krishani.
Okay. Oh, okay. You said Krishan?
Yeah, it's Krishani. Hello.
Go ahead, Krishani.
Okay. I'm Krishani. I'm from Sri Lanka. At the moment, actually, I have the right to New Zealand. So these days, me and my husband just traveling around the New Zealand to see the beauty.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm eagerly waiting to come and join with Academy EX. So and my program is Master of Change and Organizational Resilience. So yeah, we are still waiting.
Oh, nice. Well, sorry about the thunderstorms in the last few days.
Yeah.
Tishani, you're next. We'll have to be quite clear about the kre and the te.
Sorry. So I'm Teshani. I'm from Colombo, Sri Lanka. And I'm actually signing up for Master of Technological Futures. And I'm pretty nervous and excited at the same time. So I'll be coming in most probably, in within few weeks. So yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully it'll be good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I've also got Fatima on the call.
Fatima just put in the chat earlier that she's at work,
Okay.
so just
All
won't be
good.
able to introduce.
And I hope I haven't Kapila. If there's anyone else that I've missed, and if you don't have your video on, please feel free to unmute and introduce yourself. I can see you now, Kapila.
Yes. Good morning from Sri Lanka. I'm Kapila, and I'm very excited to join with that Academy Expo within very short period of time, and hopefully trying to be prepared from my end, because I know that it's going to be a change for me. Not nervous, but I'm trying to be prepared as much as I can. I know I believe that it will be challenging, but I'm ready to take that challenge. And I feel a bit of comfortable the way Academy X is preparing us, that it's very grateful to entire team that feel some sort of giving us some sort of a comfortable in this transformation.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you.
Kapila. We'll take that feedback on. Kimberly.
Hi everyone, I am Kimberly from the Philippines. I'll be taking up MCOR. My flight is next week, so I'm excited. But at the same time, I am anxious because I know that we have to face adjustment period with my family, and I believe this includes the weather there because it's winter. And coming from the Philippines, really hot in here, so I know that's a big adjustment for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kimberly.
Thank
Well,
you.
as you can tell, a lot of people are feeling kind of similar feelings. You're feeling nervous, you're feeling anxious, you're also feeling excited. Some people are still waiting for their visas, some people are already here. So I guess what we really wanted to communicate here is that everything that you're feeling is completely valid, and we're here to, answer your questions as you go through all these feelings and the journeys and whatever that might come, your way. As Taylor mentioned, we can support you only if you share what you're going through. And so, as you get closer to joining us at Academy X, if anything comes up for you, please do reach out, and that's the best way that we can help you. So thank you so much for being open and honest. We're really excited, and we can't wait for you to join us at Academy X on site in person. So with that, I will move on. You would have received in your email that Taylor would have sent through a link to our International Student Guide. So this is a live document. So please make sure that if you have any questions, do refer to it. And then see if you can answer the question. Get the answer that you need to your question in this document. If not, as I mentioned, feel free to reach out to us. It is quite comprehensive, and we try to keep it up to date as much as possible. So have this, bookmark this as a resource for you to refer back to whenever you need it. And so the first thing that I would like to touch on is understanding your student visa requirements when you're here on your student visa. So for you to be eligible for your post-study work or visa requirements, you need to complete a minimum of 30 weeks of full-time study. So this means that out of your 18 months that you have in your master's program, 30 of these weeks must be documented and evidenced as full-time study. And the way that we evidence this is that you need to be on site with us for a minimum of 20 hours per week on site for 30 weeks. So those 30 weeks does not have to be consecutive weeks. It can be any time in the duration of the 18 months. So 1 week you might complete your 20 hours per week on site. The next 2 weeks you might not. The third week, fourth week you might. So you can pick and choose the weeks that you will complete these 20 hours on site. Our lab is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday and Friday, and with extended hours from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you do have scheduled mandatory cohort sessions that you need to attend in the evenings. But the 20 hours, because it is a research master's, you'll be working on your projects, you'll be working on your assessments. This is where you will complete the additional hours on top of the cohort sessions that you have already planned. But in order to count these hours towards your post-study work visa requirements, you do need to be on site. Even if it's an online Zoom call, if you take it on site, then you can count those hours towards that as well. So the primary goal is for you to complete 20 hours per week for 30 weeks within the duration of your master's program. The way we help you evidence this is that for each individual person, we will have a Google form that we will share, which helps you keep track of the hours. So after each week, if you've done 20 hours on site, you just complete the form and then submit it for that week. We get a record, and then you get provided a view access of the hours that you submit. And this is how we make sure that we're within regulation with Immigration New Zealand. Should they kind of question us when it comes to your post-study work visa application, just to make sure they might ask us whether the student has in fact been on site to complete the 20 hours for 30 weeks, then we can look at our records and then show that as evidence as well. If for some reason you need to go back to your home countries, the protocol is that you definitely need to let your academic team know, so your program teams, and then we will assess it on a case-by-case basis, primarily to make sure that you are supported in your studies and you're not missing anything crucial that you need to be aware of, and that also we are also aware of your absences as well. So it is a requirement that you try to maintain 100% attendance in your cohort sessions. So we'll be making sure that you're on track for that as well. And so health insurance requirements, it is also a legal requirement that you have health insurance organized prior to your arrival in New Zealand. So in the next slide, I have a few recommended service providers, and in your call with our current students on Wednesday, you will be able to ask them some questions about health insurance service providers as well. But you do need to make sure that you have this organized prior to your arrival to New Zealand, because we have to make sure that you are covered by health insurance from day one of your stay in New Zealand. It is a legal requirement. So as soon as you have your health insurance sorted, please send us through the documentation so we can have that as a record. We do sometimes get questions from incoming students about the duration of the health insurance that they need to get. And I know affordability is sometimes in question. So if you can only afford for the first 6 months, or you're currently, you're thinking you might change health insurance providers after the first 6 months, you are able to do so. But just make sure, even if you are getting it for the first 6 months, you send us that documentation. And once you extend that policy, make sure you send us the documentation to our enrollments team so we have that on record as well. This is not included in your course fees, and you do need to ideally organize the insurance for the full duration of your study period. And as I mentioned, please make sure that you send us through the documentation once you have that organized. So some service providers that we typically see our current international students using is Southern Cross Travel Insurance, UDK International, and then Lumley. And there's a quote there about an insight that one of our students shared about their experience with Southern Cross Health Insurance. That typically tends to be kind of the one that the majority of our students pick. But if you have any questions about that, you can ask them on Wednesday as well. Accommodation options. So now that you've met majority of your peers on this call, towards the end of this week, I'll be including you all on a WhatsApp group. So you can start communicating with each other and find out when everyone's traveling. Because typically what we see is that, because you know each other now, you might organize, a few of you to share accommodation options as you settle into New Zealand. So we've had that happen for all our past cohorts, actually, where about 3 or 4 people, come together. You're starting on the same cohort. So you might say, hey, let's organize like an Airbnb together, split the costs. As we kind of find our way around Auckland and New Zealand, before you kind of decide on where you want to move to, and as you get familiar with the suburbs as well. So these are some of the apartments, short-term accommodation options that are available that's within, walking distance to Academy X. All of these links are in the International Student Guide that I shared with you before. And alternatively, of course, long-term options are Airbnb, TradeMe, which is a really good site, but you do need to be in New Zealand to register for TradeMe. New Zealand flatmates, roomies, or cozy are also options that might be worth considering. And just so that it gives you an idea of where the suburbs are and how far away they are, this is us at Academy X, and we're close to Newmarket. But we do see students. So I live in Mount Eden, and Remuera, One Tree Hill, Royal Oak, Mount Roskill, Ellerslie, Mount Wellington. Those are kind of suburbs that are closest to. And Mount Eden is about 10 minutes. And there are direct bus routes to Academy EX as well. And we typically see our students kind of settling in within this vicinity. And then once they are considering, bringing their family with them, or they're looking at, part-time work options, let's say, they might move out of this kind of radius. So this is so that you get familiar with, the suburbs that are around us. So upon arrival, you have a few options to get to your accommodation. There are airport shuttles, taxis, and of course, Uber. And like I said, if you communicate with each other, and we know that there's a group of you arriving on the same flight, you can share accommodation as well. But it's not a difficult thing to travel from our airport. As you can see, there's a lot of, travel options, and typically it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to go from the Auckland airport to the city centre. So that gives you an idea of duration. All right, so really important things that you should be mindful of at this stage is that for pre-arrival, just make sure that you have enough funds, to support yourself for the first 4 to 6 months. I know a lot of people who join us at Academy X, they're also mindful of, making sure that their finance, they can support themselves. And so typically a behavior that we see is that people tend to get stressed about, job opportunities. And so I just wanted to remind you that you are on a study visa. Your primary goal should be your master's. But I also understand that, having a part-time job might be quite good for you to support yourself if that's kind of the choice that you are wanting to make. But just be mindful of the realities of the job search situation here in New Zealand, especially if you have no prior work experience in New Zealand. It typically takes our candidates about 4 to 6 months to fully settle in and then kind of find those opportunities. So just make sure that you have finances organized to help you support for the first 4 to 6 months. As I mentioned, organize your health insurance and your visa documentation. Please send us through those documents as soon as you have it. It's really important that we have that on file. We also require a passport photo for your student ID card, so we can get that organized as soon as possible so that when you're in the country, you can come grab your student ID card for anything that you might need that for. If you haven't already done so, please complete the pre-arrival survey, which also has a field, which we actually added today. So if you have already completed the survey, just email us and let us know your arrival date, or if you've already arrived in New Zealand. I've made note of the people who've said that they've already arrived, so that's all good. But yeah, if you know your arrival date, if you booked your flights, even if it's kind of like a general, I think I'm going to arrive on this date, it's useful for us to know so that we can, keep an eye out for that as well. Upon arrival, it's really important that we highly recommend you do register with with a doctor, a GP, and that detail is in this International Student Guide as well. And then, like I said, I will also be sharing a Google form with you to keep track of your attendance. So that's kind of like the key details, key takeaways that I want you to be mindful of from this call. So what to expect in your first 90 days with Academy X? So we're 2 weeks to go. We're interacting online. We are having our pre-departure chat. And then on the 11th of June, on Wednesday, you'll meet and greet your current international students, who are a great bunch. You're actually joining a very good community. You will also be invited to the WhatsApp group. So I will only be inviting people who have visas confirmed, just so that we make sure that we have our communications quite clear with those who are enrollment complete. And then as soon as your visa comes in, your enrollment is complete, we'll add you into the WhatsApp group as well. And next week, you will have a Connecting Cultures session with our incredible Moana Maori team. And Taylor will just touch on that session briefly on this call as well. And then on the 18th of June, we'll have a drop-in Q&A where more members of our program teams will be on call to answer any questions that you might have. That session is also open to our domestic students, so you might get an opportunity to meet and greet some of your domestic cohort members as well. And then orientation week, we will actually have an optional in-person Coffee Connect on the 24th of June. So if you're on site and if you're able to join us, we'll send you the invitation. Come on site, we'll take you out for a coffee, and so we can have a casual conversation. You can kind of orient yourself. You can take the buses, the trains, whatever you transport that you need, so that you get to practice before you actually need to come in on the 26th of June, when we kick off the program and we officially welcome you to Academy X. And then you have your second on-site day on the 27th of June. And then in week 2, we'll keep checking in on you within the first month. We'll have international student support check-ins. We might do a walk up one of the mountains that are close by, Mount Eden. And so we'll just check in with you throughout the entire time. And then from week 4 onwards, we'll actually run a few workshops that are run by an organization called EduVentures New Zealand that will support you in getting, work ready and understanding kind of the culture, a little bit more about what the expectations are when you go into interviews, your CVs and such. So it's really good workshops, to partake in. All right, so I might hand over to Taylor just to touch on the Culture Connect session for next week.
Thanks, Maheshi, and thank you to everybody who has been listening so far. I know me and Maheshi will give you a lot of information today, but I hope you take the time to just decompress and think it over and bring your questions for us on Wednesday or in the emails or at the session next week. So this session in particular next Monday is a way for you to connect in with our Moana Māori team. And we'll go over everything Te Ao Māori that you'll get introduced to once you arrive, the Aotearoa culture as well, and just help you transition into understanding the new environment you're in. It won't be a one and done. We have extended sessions that will be available to you on a Monday fortnightly once you're here, just to be able to help bring our cultures together and our understandings together. So hopefully you can join us next week. If you haven't already said yes or no to our sessions, please make sure to get back to those calendar invites. And we're looking forward to seeing you there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Taylor. Right. So as I mentioned, we have our EduVentures New Zealand workshops, which is run by this lovely lady over here, called Pratishtha Purohit. She has been in your shoes. She's been an immigrant. She's been a student. She's gone through the hard yards, the ups and downs. And so it's really great to have someone who's gone through and been in your shoes to kind of deliver these really impactful sessions for you. Essentially, workshop 1 is 2 parts, thriving in New Zealand. So what does that look like? Understanding New Zealand's unique educational framework and job market. How can you make the most of your master's journey to make sure that you are setting yourself up for career success? And then we also have a Culture Connect session, understanding what belonging looks like, especially as international students. And then, understanding how best to kind of integrate into the Kiwi way of life in New Zealand and really, thrive in the communities that you are part of. We also have a second workshop called Navigating the New Zealand Job Market. So this is where, Pratishtha will walk you through around, interview tips, CV preparation, and doing a bit of a deep dive on, the hidden job market in New Zealand and really understanding, the connections that you make in your master's programs and the conversations that you have as you go through your study is actually going to be setting you up for success to have these conversations and uncover these hidden opportunities as well. So while not mandatory, I would highly, highly recommend that you don't miss these 2 sessions. And once the date and times are confirmed, I will make sure that you receive those invitations as well. Right, so I will hand over to Laurent and Hansine for this next bit where they will go through an overview of each of the programs. Laurent, handing to you.
Yes, thank you very much. How are you feeling? Yeah, I hope you're not scared because Mahesh said you will be climbing a mountain. I just would like to be very specific. It's a very, very small mountain, okay? It's not about 2 days trekking, the very, very high top of a mountain, all right? So it's just the volcano around the place here. And Hansine, are you online? Do you want to introduce yourself? Hello.
Thanks, Laurent. Yes, hello everyone. I think for a lot of you who are doing the Master of Change and Organizational Resilience, I've met you before, so welcome. But yeah, I'm the program lead, and I'm really, really looking forward to working with you over the next little while. So thanks, Laurent.
Yeah, thank you very much. So quickly in a nutshell, to explain you how it works between MCOR and MTF. So you've got 3 parts. Okay, the part number 1 is 20 weeks long and it's divided in 4 different sections. I don't want to go into too much details. The structure is the same for MCOR and MTF. So that's what we call the discovery phase of your research project. The second part is the planning of it. We will expose you to Kopapa Maori and to methodology, the way you will be developing your project. And the third part, you decide if you want to go full-time, 20 weeks, or part-time, 40 weeks, and it will be your project, okay? So we will support you in a specific way by allocating an advisor to you. The advisor, compared to the classic university setup, is someone that can be academic or an expert in the field you want to investigate. So it's not just an academic person, it's also someone who knows and practice what you're interested in. Do you want to add something, Hansine?
I think you've covered that brilliantly. Thanks, Laurent.
Thank you.
Fantastic. I know Laurent said, it's a small mountain, but you also said it's a volcano, so please don't stress. All right. So moving on. So we have a values system called Te Ara Kotihi, which is our teaching and learning strategy at Academy X. It's guided by Kopapa Maori values, which are listed there: ako, collaboration; manaki, support; pono, honesty; and rangatiratanga, self-determination. So these are the 4 values that we abide by as staff members at Academy X and how we approach teaching and learning. And this is something that we also would love to see from you, our learners, as you undertake these programs with us. So Really placing an emphasis on facilitation. It's not traditional teaching. You know, our typical learner is in their kind of 40s to 50s. They come with a lot of, you know, personal responsibilities. You have, you know, mortgages, you have kids and everything that, you know, you need to manage alongside being a student, a learner with us, but you also bring a wealth of experience into this place as well. You know, you have years and years of work experience that we would love to kind of learn from you as well. So you're not gonna experience a scenario where it's going to be a lecturer kind of sitting in front of you. It's going to be more of a conversational style of, you know, learning environment. And our subject matter experts want to learn from you and your contributions as much as then being able to share what they know as well. It's reciprocal learning, like I said, you know, it's knowledge exchange to have more robust conversations and build stronger relationships, because oftentimes what we see with our alumni is that they actually end up collaborating and working with each other. And so I would highly, you know, emphasize on the fact that please get to know your colleagues, because they could be your, you know, future opportunities as much as lifelong friends as well. It's very much student-centric. You, the student, are at the heart of everything that we do, as symbolized by the koru there in that image. We would love for you to bring your whole self, meaning that, you know, we are determined to create an environment where you are able to bring your whole authentic self into our environment. We have real world assessments, so we don't want you to produce a master's project or report that's going to sit on a shelf collecting dust. It's really your opportunity to create something really tangible and meaningful, something that is going to carve your future career path and create those opportunities for you. So it's not a tick box kind of master's, it's very much kind of like your life work. There's a lot of collaboration opportunities. So within, you know, the academic program, we have Mahitahis, Converge community, which is our research community meetups that happen every week. We also have some exciting in-person and on-site events, which are facilitated both internal staff and externals that we bring in. So keep a very close eye on our events page, and you'll get to meet our events manager on day one, I believe, who will be able to, you know, share a little bit more about these opportunities, but take every opportunity, you know, as it comes, because you never know what conversation might spark, you know, your next idea or your next connection. We really want to strive to create an inclusive learning environment within Academy X. So we really respect diversity of thought and make sure that we create that space for our learners. It's very much evidence-based learning. So our subject matter experts, they actually practice what they preach. And so the content is always up to date, because that is what they are practicing in their day-to-day jobs that they then will bring into our learning context. So it's very much led by experience, and so they are also engaged in their own research, so they'll bring in that knowledge as well. And so this way we make sure that all the content is up to date. All right, so I will hand over now to Taylor to chat about what pastoral care looks like at Academy X.
Thank you, Maheshi. I think we've touched a bit on this so far. But yeah, essentially the key thing we understand here is life happens, things happen. Progress doesn't always look linear, but we always have a way for you to keep moving forward. We want to see like you involved in your work as well. It's not the standard fit into a box of what we want you to do. We want you to bring, like Maheshi said, your whole authentic self into what you do here. We understand here that illness gets in the way, maybe family commitments and other responsibilities. So the earlier you can reach out to us to let us know, the better. There may be a few things when you get here too that you don't understand. For example, like healthcare in New Zealand, we've noticed recently that some of the students don't understand how to find a doctor's or a GP. So just simple things like that. You can come to any of us that have been on the screen today and ask us about it. No question is a stupid question, and we'll always be here to support you. We do have, yes, sorry, I didn't know if you were speaking on this or I was, but we do have services out there to support you. If you were looking at speaking to people who weren't us, so there are counsellors and services that we have in New Zealand that you can reach out to. We will also have a pastoral care process for you to either refer yourself or others to if you feel like there's something going on that you don't feel you can reach out directly to us about. But we'll make all of these resources available to you once you're here as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Taylor. All right. So if we haven't said it enough, I really hope you understand that we are truly here to support you every step of the way. Here is some photos from our current international students. I need to actually find new ones of our current intakes as well, but they're smiling, they're happy. It does take a few months to kind of settle in, but it's a really great space. And like I mentioned, you're surrounded by people who are truly and genuinely there to help guide and support and listen as well. So, we really hope that you feel confident in the choices that you've made that has led you here, and we can't wait to welcome you very, very soon. Here's us celebrating Christmas. There's lots of food around Academy X. You'll soon get to know. So one of the benefits of actually having your post-study work visa requirement of 20 hours a week on site is that you get to experience, the various cultural activities. And some days we're like, enough, like we cannot eat more this week. And we truly do love to celebrate cultures. We actually celebrated Sri Lanka New Year back in April, which was great. That was the first time that we've done it. We're celebrating the language weeks these past few weeks. And so the more you say yes to things, the more experience and opportunities that will come your way here at Academy X. All right, so I've done a lot of talking, so I'm just going to stop here and stop sharing my screen. And you have about 10 minutes to ask any questions that you might have at this stage. Or share your thoughts, anything that you're currently thinking of.
Hi, I'm Tamara. I'm sorry, even though the name on Zoom says Ranaya, that's my daughter's name. I'm Tamara Jayasinghe. Sorry, I got a little late to join the call as well. Is it possible for you to share a schedule with the times we're supposed to be on campus starting from 26th June, please? I just want to make sure the buses are available for me to get there at that time. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll be getting access to our learning management system on the 12th of June, I believe, but I might hand over to Sarah, who might know a little bit more about the timings of the handbook.
Yeah, thanks, Maheshi. So in terms of the timings, so you have a student handbook, and that will have all the dates for when you start and when you end. And what we recommend is for students to create a calendar, a recurring calendar for each, day that you have your sessions on site, and that will help you plan ahead. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Has the student workbook been shared already?
No, so the student handbook will be available from 2 weeks to go, which will be this Thursday.
Right, fine. All right, thank you.
And it will be on the LMS as well, and also in your Slack when you get added to that.
Right, thank you.
And I believe typically the pattern is every 6 weeks you'll have an on-site workshop, and then you'll have online cohort sessions, typically within that 3:30 to 6 p.m. kind of mark in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any other questions?
Maheshi, in case there are not many questions, I would really like to add. Someone mentioned earlier that they're moving from Philippines to New Zealand and it's going to be cold. They would like to prepare for the weather. And from my very recent experience returning from Philippines last week, I would say, yes, you'll need a thick jacket. Sri Lanka as well. Anyone joining us from tropical countries where the weather, it's summertime, it's compared to other countries, New Zealand is very cold at the moment. So bring a thick jacket. You don't want to get out of the aircraft and feel like, oh my God, I'm going to fall sick. You don't want that experience. So definitely carry a thick jacket. That's a recommendation from my side.
Absolutely. And sometimes the aircon gets a bit crazy even at Academy X. So you might actually feel warm when you actually get here. So the biggest advice that I can give you is layers are the way to go. So the more that you can layer on or the more that you can layer off. We also have a coats rack that's available for students and staff if you're feeling a bit cold. In the lab, you're welcome to kind of help yourself to that as well.
Yeah, ma'am, I have a question that actually I I haven't got the visa for traveling. So do you provide extension if I get a delay in visa, just in case if I'm not able to get the visa before 26th of June?
So Asa, back me up on this. I believe the extension is 2 weeks from program start date. Because beyond that, because the program, the kickoff is very, very essential. So we highly, highly recommend that if at all possible, even if your visa is kind of cutting it close, if you are able to join us for those first 2 on-site dates, that's our recommendation. Because the program team, after day 2, you dive straight into your first assessment. So we don't want you to feel like you're falling behind. We want you to feel, supported, but also that, you're not behind on anything. And so that's why we've made the decision that 2 weeks is like the absolute cutoff.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am. I'm trying to be in time.
Yeah, I know. It's super
Thanks.
frustrating when it's kind of out of your hands and you're just playing the waiting game now. So really hope that it comes through soon, Ruin.
Thank you.
I also have a question. You mentioned that once the insurance documentation is available, we should send it over. To whom should I send it?
Yeah,
Or which
so
address?
typically it's enroll at Academy X. But if you send it to Taylor or myself, then that's fine too. But I might, along with the recording of this session, I'll make sure that the instructions are super clear in my next email to you. And I'll also detail the email address that you will need to send that through to, along with the passport photo and any visa documentation that people might have still pending. Great question.
And Petra, don't forget to bring your winter clothes as well, from Europe.
I brought it. It was
Yes.
very hot at home, and I already arrived, and it's a big change now. I really need it. Yeah.
Yes, because it's humid. Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
And if you are still in Philippines or Sri Lanka, bring your wet clothing as well, because it's it's showering every 1 hour or 2 hours, so it's very difficult to be warm and to be dry, or sometimes too hot. So yes, it's the challenge of New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I must say, there's nothing quite like a beautiful sunny winter's day in New Zealand. And so it's, the weather might be crappy at the moment, but when it shines, it's beautiful. So it's great that some of you are already in New Zealand, if you can meet up and say hello to each other once you're added to the WhatsApp. And you have your, direct communication channels, then feel free to kind of meet up as well. Kapila, did you have a question?
Yes, question regarding the insurance. I saw that and there are few options available and visa requirement. If I do have already global insurance now, which goes till next June, is that possible to use the same cover, or am I supposed to get this student cover separately again?
Yeah, I think as long as the health insurance, so it's not travel insurance, so it's health insurance cover that you are required to have. I believe that should be fine. Asa, is there any concerns there?
I'm so sorry, I missed the question.
So
So
Kapila
sorry.
already has global insurance cover.
Okay.
So he was just asking whether it has to be from a service provider currently in New Zealand.
So it has to be NZQA approved. It has to be approved by NZQA, one of those providers. I'm not too sure if the global health insurance cover is NZQA approved or not, so you'll have to check that.
Sure. Thank you. That's clear.
But you can always email what you have to enroll at Academy X address, and our enrollments team will be able to advise you as well.
Thank you.
I have 2 minutes to go, Pushpani.
Yeah, Maheshi, is it possible for me to come there with my travel insurance and purchase insurance there once I landed?
Yes, so we do need you to be covered from day one of you being in New Zealand. So if you communicate to us that you have like a temporary insurance in place before you actually kind of obtain insurance cover for the duration of your study, we've had situations where students have been in that scenario, then just make sure that you communicate that very clearly to us. But the ideal and what we recommend is that you have your insurance cover sorted prior to you traveling.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We might not have any other questions, but if you do, feel free to unmute yourself. But I might go back to my presentation.
Just a quick fun fact, because I mentioned the scary word volcano. Auckland is made up of 53 volcanoes, so don't be scared. And the youngest one is more than 600 years old, so it's all right. Okay, so they are tamed volcano here in Auckland so far. Okay.
It's a really great walk that we've done before with another group of our international students. And so they really enjoyed it. And so we thought we'll bring it back for your group as well. Fantastic. So I will close this space with a closing karakia. And feel free to unmute yourself and join me at the end at the Tai Kie bit. Right. Ka whakairia ti tapu, kia waiti ai ti ara, kia turuki whakataha ai, kia turuki whakataha ai, homie huye tai kie. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'll share this recording with you shortly, but if you have any questions between now and then, feel free to reach out to us and we will try our best to answer those questions. And we will see you back same time on Wednesday, where you'll get to meet and greet some of our current international students and ask them all the questions that you might have as well. All right. Thank you so much. Hakite. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.